plotting. Wobbling to the back, got a bottle in my glass, more marbles are forgotten. Tonight I'm getting mad, not...
Yeah, welcome to Your Time Podcast where we bring guests on and they get a chance to talk about their experience, whether it's music, whatever the trade they're in, different areas of life, going to get their perspective. And today's episode is series 1, episode 1. Myself, Tez Kidd, King Tez Kidd on Instagram.
Myself, Kdot Scumfam on all the socials.
And today we're going to be talking about my musical journey. And then the next one, I'll be interviewing Kdot about his musical journey. And then from there, we're going to go and invite other guests down. So if you're interested, hit the email that's in the description. And then we'll go from there. So we're going to keep this clean. Big up STEM Studios. Big up Kellum Cook. Big up Scum Fam. Big up Hotbox Studios. Everybody affiliated.
Don't know.
Let's do the thing.
So yeah, where do we kick it off? Like, how did you start your music journey? How old was you?
My music journey started as a child from when, like, I used to read Source magazine, XXL magazine.
Yeah.
And I was just hip hop infatuated because from a kid, I had somebody in the house that was music orientated, but it used to make me want to play drums.
Yeah.
So, but like, he was a bass guitarist.
Yeah.
But when he used to say half an hour a day I have to play the drums, which in retrospect I wish I would have picked up.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you pick it up? I never seen you on no drums.
Nah, blood, guess what? I smashed, like one day I smashed with the drumstick, the skin of the drum. And I said, I don't know what happened. Yeah. I wanted to be on the mic. Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously that's where it kind of started with me with the music thing. But fast forward, I always took part of like talent competitions and stuff like that. And that's how I first kind of like.
So what age was you when you took it seriously then? Like when you like.
When I first started putting myself out there as a rapper, I joined a group called Lost Souls. And we did a talent competition at Sadaka, so I was like 13.
Yeah.
And from there, Marcus Daly, 7, legendary Sheffield producer.
Yeah, big up 7.
No excuse. He like scouted me, so to speak, and he told me to come to his studio. And from there, I met Castro, and we started Adolescence.
Yeah.
And that led on to No Excuse, and that's when we started making proper. That was my first time in the studio.
Yeah. So what was your first project? In fact, go back. What was your first song that you did? It's like solo song. Can you remember it?
The first solo song I did was, obviously, like I said, I used to freestyle, I never used to write bars. I never had the concept of 16s.
Yeah, and what was it? The genre was mainly hip-hop, innit?
It was mainly hip-hop, yeah, because at that time, like I said, I was very hip-hop. It was two things. It was either you was dancehall or you was hip-hop.
Yeah.
And I was around dancehall, yeah, to the point where I was the only hip-hop kid, kind of. I had the goggles, the baggy jeans. I had my own style, but I was going to teen jams, something that happened at Sadaka when I was a kid. And that was just straight dancehall.
Yeah.
So I'd get into a lot of arguments with people like, what's better? Because at them times, if people remember, like, they used to always bite, like, stop, drop, shut them down, open up, shop. Who's that?
DMX.
Right. So there used to be a lot of remixes in dancehall. Stop, drop, top, enough gal we have it now, we can't back, we go so, roll.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of arguments with people who was very, very dancehall passionate and be like, well, they just copy hip-hop. So, like, I was very hip-hop stanced.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So, when I did these talent competitions, it was my first step onto the Sheffield scene as being an MC.
Yeah.
So, I was on there with the bandana, but I was with, like, guys that was, like... There was rappers, but there was backpacker rappers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And, like I said, 7 scouted me, brought me to the studio. And the first solo track, to answer your question, was a tune called... what is it called now? Like, I think it was called Top Dogs. We'd be the Iron Force, take you out at all costs. How you gonna remorse on the shit that we toss? We'd be the top dogs of the No Excuse label. Adolescents sit down like nice round table. Like, yo,
yeah, I'd love to hear that, man.
You get what I'm saying?
So moving on, after the No Excuse situation, like what was going on then for Tez Kidd? What was going on?
As I was growing up, obviously, I went through a few things in life to where, like, I found myself in jail, coming out, but I was still always passionate about music. I was writing bars in jail.
Yeah.
But when I came out, I had, like, a different perspective, and my angle was different. So being part of No Excuse and a loyal member, I'd always be up there recording, but my kind of outlook on life was a bit different from how it started. You get what I'm saying? Like, obviously, Castro, big up J Cass, He's still doing his music scene right now. But like he used to like it was the flavor to rap in an American accent.
Yeah.
And sorry, let me just say this. Before I was rapping, I went to the Hub at Sharrow, and the only crew that was rapping before me was called Hoods Underground. So big up Hoods Underground.
Yeah, big up Hoods Underground.
But there was like and I don't mean I mean this with all respect, there was like a Sheffield Wu-Tang clan.
Yeah.
There was like a bunch of guys like rapping in American accents, and like, but that inspired me kind of thing because there was actually somebody doing it, and I was
From your city.
From my city, and I did look up to them.
Yeah.
Before I started clashing them because of, you know what I mean? But either way, but nah, nothing but respect for all of them. Asha, Menace, J Poet, D Damage, Raw Deal. I'm not going to sit here and say it. B Play, all the lads, yeah. But yeah, so that was my first experience with hip hop. I got on the music scene, no excuse, boom, yeah.
Yeah, so going forward, you come out of jail.
Yes, yeah. That's what it was. Yeah.
You come out of jail. I'm trying to think. What year was that? Because I'm trying to think what tunes was I hearing from you them time.
It was like, I think this is before. Obviously, you're younger than me.
So. Oh, it's the first time you went to jail, isn't it? So.
Yeah, the first time I went to jail, I was 15. I came out when I was 17.
I was a baby.
So yeah. Yeah, you're younger than me.
not that younger, but
not that younger, but it is what it is. But yeah, so I was bare D-blocked off. DMX,
yeah,
Rough Riders, like, but I was a very, very lyrical induced person. Like, I used to read 4 magazines a month. They used to come out all at the same time. I'd read them all like within an hour. So I was very much in tune with the hip hop scene. And this is before internet. So this was the only outlet of music.
Yeah.
So I used to like, I was very obsessed with the concepts. Like Hip Hop Connection magazine was the only UK representative magazine, and it used to have tape packs on the front.
Yeah.
With all UK rappers.
Yeah.
And to go back a little bit, yeah, not to digress too much, but while I was at the Hub, there was a music project called RAW, Ragga and Rap Against Racism, and they got funding to bring us down to London, and I actually did a tune at 13 with Roots Maneuver. You get what I'm saying?
Sick.
He was a legend in the game.
That's sick.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you get what I'm saying?
That's
so it's
sick.
like, and because of my obsession with the fact that from a young age I was more about representing UK. So anything UK, I was kind of obsessed with it. Like,
yeah.
We had SCR Radio in Sheffield, and then Tim Westwood on a Friday night, the last hour, he used to play UK tracks, and then there was Art DeVille, Scorsese, Lee Ramsey, Temper, a female MC, and when I heard Temper spit, she was doing that Nottingham accent, like, I'm on the mic, I'm dead cheeky. You can't and that was wow to me.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I'm saying? Scorsese was the lyrical master. Lee Ramsey was the mastermind to my knowledge. But when Temper came out with that, that's what made me feel like, do you know what? Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you're supposed to say it with the accent.
That's the first person I heard with an out of London accent, because Black Twang and Rodney P, all them, they had London accents. But as much as I was obsessed with the UK scene, the out of London UK scene, especially Knots being close to Sheffield with an accent, it was more enticing to me because
of course,
I related to it more. So
yeah, moving forward a bit further, like when did you really start getting into grime? And let's talk about the early Sheffield scene and how that came about.
So going from when I come out of jail, I was with No Excuse, but I was kind of on depth. There was Seven, God bless him. He was more on he was on his religious journey, and the studio sessions turned into more of teachings.
Yeah.
And I took all in them teachings, and I respect all them teachings. Them teachings still stay with me to this day. But I'm more of like an open-minded thinker. So it's like the things I was going through outside of the studio and coming from jail, I was more now talking about my life, which was different to the Jay Cassers and the people that was there.
Yeah.
So when I've got into grime, I've got out of jail, and it was a garage thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was outside, whatever, and garage was the thing when I got out of jail. And like, so now from dancehall to rap, there was now garage.
Yeah.
So garage was a thing, but I wasn't really. I'd listened to jungle from a young age. 100% jungle, 1000% jungle. If you remember them, you remember them. But there was tape packs that would kind of like got people captivated with jungle before it became jungle bass. And so garage was the flavour when I got out of jail. but it was more them like, when I'm in a dance hall, the man in my hyper, Mr. Man, listen to the dog chime. It was that kind of vibe. Yeah. So a place called Bobby G's was running when I got out.
Yeah, I wanted to speak about Bobby G's. I've heard enough things about it. Like, that must have been a hub for that sound that was coming around about it.
It was around them times, like Pay As You Go and all that.
Yeah.
But the thing that changed, like, the style of things was when Dizzy Rascal came out. Because there was Pay As You Go, and the standout guy of Pay As You Go was Wiley.
Yeah.
And big up Major Ace, like, R.I.P.
That's mad
Major
because
Ace.
me, coming from my, like, I heard of Dizzy first. I heard Dizzy before I heard Wiley. But that's because obviously it already bust by then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, now knowing obviously how the journey went, Wiley came first, but I always heard Dizzy first.
Yeah, so Wiley was originally part of the Pay As You Go crew. But he was a lot different to the other MCs. He was more direct and lyrical. And obviously me being lyrical based, like, I took to him, but then he blew the scene apart when he did a Sidewinder tape pack with Dizzy Rascal. And like, obviously,
I remember that tape pack, the Slimsy one.
Yeah. So we was already acquainted with Wiley, and everybody loved Wiley's lyrics. Hyper, enough of them, a quick, all of that, yeah? Gassed, yeah? But then when he's done that tape pack, and then it's came out with Dizzy Rascal's come with a whole different approach, a different sound, a different cadence, a different delivery on garage tunes, and it was now turning into grime. And you got to remember, this is before he released What Do You Call It.
Yeah.
So the grime sound wasn't even called grime.
Yeah.
So he's doing garage, but he's doing it in a complete different way. Stop that, get that, what? He's got a Nokia, take that, what? Yeah?
Yeah.
Bo E3, he's repping his bits. So it's like, as the more you're taking that in, it feels more realistic to us. Even though it wasn't from London,
of course, it's
we
more.
related that to that more.
Yeah.
So the grime thing to me was more natural progression of authentic lyricist. So that's how I got into the grime stuff.
Yeah, so let's talk about the early Sheffield scene. Like, obviously, we've talked about you being in No Excuse. Let's talk about the original Scum Fam lineup. How did that come about?
Okay, so Dizzy Rascal dropped a bomb on the UK. Yeah, he turned it upside down.
Yeah.
We all went Milton Keynes, those that could. Everyone was capsized by it, and everyone wanted a piece of it. Call it follow fashion, call it what it is. I call it culture setting. He was the Moses leading the people. Yeah, because like it was all new after that. Because then the second tape pack that I remember, it was him on his own, and then it was Nasty Crew, and that's how he was introduced to Kano, and God's Gift, and like. There was a certain one. So now it was more street, like, and it was more lyrical. Like, it was all more lyrical.
Yeah.
So, with me, being the person that I was dead competitive. So, I joined the crew I formed the crew with someone called Jay Rugged, who's a legend in the Sheffield scene, DJ Rugged.
Yeah,
and,
shout out Rugged.
He introduced me to a guy called DJ Skills, a legend in the scene.
Big up Skills, yeah.
He's already been down, he was always down with the garage thing, so he was always a step ahead of the game. And like, he had an MC called Shinobi. I was Rugged, bringing us an MC. We made a crew called Heavyweight Crew.
Yeah.
And from there, that's kind of started the garage journey. And like the radio I spoke of earlier, SCR, we all went on there and was doing our thing. But that was the first ever like garage crew from grime, garage/grime crew. But then obviously, when I've gone my ways, like. Going back to Bobby G's things, it's like I was more on the more realer grime got and the more it meant to me and the more it was the streets. It's like we didn't have a passionate connection. We wasn't really friends and that.
Yeah.
Heavyweight Crew, we found out that there was a name already called Heavyweight Crew, so we changed it to All Out Crew.
Yeah.
So All Out Crew started up, but then I wasn't really, not because of any disrespectful manner, because I've always respected Skills, but it's like I was distant from them. And then I'd been my surroundings, I was going to Bobby G's.
Yeah.
So Bobby G's already released a track before I was ever even joined them. So when they released this track and I heard it, it was like, yo, Malice at the time, yeah, you need to get in the studio with the man.
Yeah.
So I found myself part of the Bobby G's crew, but then it was more like just competition based. But obviously ego, but I'm the best. Like that was my thing.
Yeah.
So now that began a us and them type mentality.
Yeah.
So it kind of caused like a natural divide. So you're either down with them over there or us. I'm gonna say them over there, no disrespect, but from where they was from and from where I was from, I didn't really think that they needed to be. Grime to me was like, yo, it's the streets.
Yeah.
So unless you like me, my young-minded state was like, well, why are you talking street stuff if you're not from the streets? So that's what built up an unnecessary animosity, because I felt like I had something to prove against people that was talking the stuff that we was going through.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the grime scene kind of started there, and like back before there was internet or anything like that, like I used to release DVDs and sell them for like $9.99.
I remember I was in school and we got all the one of them DVDs. You man, I'm clashing outside Ponce Forge, legendary
yeah.
DVD that, you know.
Yeah, and that was like one of the first official Clash like things. So it's like off the back of like the antagonization, like it became competition, friendly competition. It was never beef.
Yeah, of course.
But then obviously there was everyone in Sheffield there that was interested with music, because it was like one of the first music projects that came to Sheffield. So there was like 300 people there. Yeah. And I'm talking like inside the warehouse, what they tried to do, but then outside there was a camera that DJ Scandalous has got. Yeah, and you told me you're gonna get it, man. I told you, come on, you're gonna need to sort that out. Yeah, but this is going back to like 2003.
Yeah,
and like I'm there, like there's like all the MCs. There was the No Excuse MCs. There was like MCs that are still rapping to this day. I could name them, but I'm not gonna name them, just cause whatever. But you get like on the DVD, you can see me push your man forward, encourage your man to spit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And then All Out Crew, they've come up. And then they'd release a track against my obviously I was part of No Excuse, but then we had a younger version called the Young Offenders.
Yeah.
So like, and that was my like little team, but they had a little clash of All Out. So obviously I was an instigator kind of thing, like, you know what I'm saying? Troublemaker, yeah. But anyway, it was all love. But then when we got into the cypher was going great. It was going for time. Like there was like people on the rail landings.
Yeah, I remember it ran up down there.
It was mad. But then they've come at an angle where it's like everyone's like spitting, like 20 people spitting, and then the guy's coming, he's like spat his bars against that we know are against the offenders, and it kind of caused a bit of animosity. So then I've like stepped up, had a battle with the guy, and then like obviously I'm getting a good reaction, and then the man's turned around and he's like, obviously I don't know if he was born in London, he's Sheffield based, I know him now, he's cool, big up Long Shot, yeah, but like when I've finished my bit, everyone's gone, whoa, like I got a big reaction, and this is one of my first clashes on grime, but he's turned around and said, yo, I'm from Hackney, what? You get me? I said, bro, listen to me, bro, if you're gonna spit, yeah? But don't be talking about no Hackney. He said, fam, I'm from fucking Hackney, bro. I said, yo, chat to me like that and I'll knock you out, bro. Yeah? Mine was carried on, banged him, yeah? This is all recorded. Yeah, I'm not celebrating it, I'm telling the truth. So, boom, that caused a big hype in the scene. So the only reason why I mention that is because it's relevant, because that stemmed on to it created a scene in Sheffield.
Yeah.
To where people who was down with them don't want to hear what they've got to say. People down with any other side, they got to say. And there was a forum that we all used to go on way before MySpace, like before there was any social media, there used to be a forum. So going to what you was talking about, like with the original Scum Fam, I was like, okay, so there's a crew there, there's me one. It was my mission to get the best MCs from Sheffield into a collective and make a body of work to put Sheffield on the map, because I believe that Sheffield had the talent to go as far as everyone else was going that was established at the time in grime in the UK.
Of course.
So
yeah,
we released, so to answer your question, like with the original Scum Fam, we released a CD, Hostile Takeover, but that was
legendary
like a
mixtape.
Legendary mixtape, but that was like a one-off. So like, off the back of that,
Concurrently running with that, obviously, like you're doing, like the baseline for me, in my memory, the baseline scene thing for you started as that kind of ended.
Yeah, because...
But I still want to go back and talk about Bobby G's in more detail, but like obviously sticking with the timeline, so...
Yeah, we'll stick with the timeline.
Obviously, Scum Fam formed, you dropped Hostile Takeover, and then...
That was a legendary moment in Sheffield grime, because every track was perfect. Big up Fredo, big up GLZ. Fredo was one of the best engineers from Sheffield.
100%.
Like, it was the MCs on there was second to none. You get what I'm saying? Whether or not they've gone on to do anything after that, that's besides the point.
Yeah.
But it was a strong firm, and it was one of the best bodies of work in grime in Sheffield history.
In history,
period. Like even 2006, like July 2006, Soulja Boy came out on March 2006 as the first guy that was on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying this as a random fact. Scum Fam was on YouTube in July 2006. You can type it up, you can look at it, and we was on there, chat shit, get bang, that's simple, women rolling the mans. And that's where that quote came from, because obviously, what's his name, Vardy's from Chef.
Yeah.
And he quoted that on his Facebook, and it went, when he was scoring goals, that went national, Storms in, that's used it, it's been a catchphrase. But big up Tez Kidd, but alongside him I was chanting that, and that was the lads, yeah? But with the Hustle Takeover mixtape, I was already, aside from what I was doing with that grime stuff at Passion, I was going niche every week, which was a club in Sheffield, Sydney Street, as you know, but just for the information, he played Speed Garage.
Yeah.
But so I was like religious there, obviously I'm a youth, I'm just going out, I used to go there like doing whatever I was up to, like there was gal, I was like whatever it was, like opportunities or whatever. I didn't really see that as a music, like, I didn't think I'd be vibing to it.
Yeah, of course.
So I was doing my grind thing, but then I came across a CD because I used to be after partying with the OGs from Bobby G's, what we go back to, yeah?
Yeah.
But then I came across a CD, and it had like 11 tracks on it, if that, 7 to 11 tracks, and it was called T2. And this is from a group of girls who came from Leeds, who used to be in all the after parties that we had. And then these girls just wouldn't let go of the CD.
I heard about this CD. It was legendary.
Legendary, right?
Legendary CD.
Legendary CD. Yeah, so like we were popping down. I'm thinking to myself, me as a music-minded person, I'm thinking to myself, what is this? Because there's nothing.
Never heard anything like it.
There was nothing. Obviously, niche closed down. This is the thing, yeah. So we talked about the CD, right? So now, let's go back to the Bobby G's thing.
Yeah, let's talk about Bobby G's,
and then we'll get to the CD.
Yeah.
Bobby G's was a club that like you had niche and it was speed garage and it was more predominantly white. It was like, bring me down, don't bring me dun 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 dun. And like to us, it was more of like a where you really going there for. It wasn't really like our genre of music when I was growing up. But then obviously, because man just loved to keep up fucking live this nightlife, yeah? Because I've been going blues since I was 13. I've just been about in it, been going out. And then, so niche was popping. And one of the OGs, yeah, he got himself in a predicament to where he didn't like the owners of niche, let's just say to keep it short. And then he opened his own club on a Sunday called Bobby G's. It was like a blues. It was a blues originally. You know, like the old, like we had Donkey Mans, we had Silver Sands, like it was originally a blues. But then the OG said, nah, do you know what? He can create something here.
Yeah.
Because he refused to go, he was never banned from anywhere.
Yeah.
But he chose to say, when the soldiers are going on Friday and Saturday, he's staying at his, because he had a pub, he'd be upstairs, he's doing his thing.
Yeah.
But he had to make sure that he's winning in the end. Because obviously people used to come from all around UK. But he created a Sunday thing. So every Sunday would be Bobby G's, yeah? And Bobby G's, obviously R.I.P. Bobby G, it's named after this OG Pops, right?
Yeah.
So what he used to play was speed garage, then he'd mix that with like the two-step at the time.
Yeah.
And then like the jungle and like DJ Narrows type 4/4 more darker stuff. But then you'd have the Birmingham gangsters, yeah. When I say gangsters,
so it was like a niche for the man them.
It was like niche for the man them, but it wasn't dedicated to niche.
Yeah.
It was more of a gangster party. So we had like the Birmingham gangsters, we had the Manchester gangsters, we had the Leeds gangsters, Nottingham, Wolves, Derby, Leicester, like any ends you can think of above Northampton. Everyone was there. Liverpool, like, but there was all every Sunday. Remember, there was no social media, but every Sunday, everyone would know to come. Or they go niche, get a hotel, whatever, freshen up, but they know Sunday is the day. Sunday, Bobby G's, like, was at one point, one significant point, niche had a bank holiday on a Sunday, Bobby G's ran on a Sunday. There was more people in Bobby G's than niche. Yeah? So now the crowd was more like, I don't know how to say it, like a little bit more undesirable to what they would have wanted it to be.
Yeah.
Because they wasn't playing that music, but the music was playing was a mixture. So then you'll have man on the mic. You get what I'm saying? So the first time you've got man on the mic spitting over a speed garage tune, a niche song, and then it turns to jungle, and it's like you got Wicked Man from from Brum, like, hey, man,
It's chanting.
It's chanting like, nah, but they was doing that shit. It was all mingled in together.
Yeah.
But these times now, Bobby G's is a spot, like, there's no security, there's no bouncers there. But the OG who ran the place, he was respected. You get what I'm saying? And the man that was around was respected. So, like, if you came there with your ting, if you came there with your ting, you have to leave it with the gaffer. You get what I'm saying? But if you respected in your family, like, it was gangster like that. But it was all under control. You get what I'm saying? But it was gangster, yeah? So
was there many altercations down there? Or was it just, did it run smooth?
The only altercation that I can think of, was the one that got it locked off. And that's when a couple of people from, I think it was probably more West Yorkshire sides, the man them that was affiliated to the lads that was running the place, they had their pagans came down, and like that's when, like, because everyone was together, and that's what I mean about the thing, like everyone who came by with Jesus, it was smiley. You get what I'm saying? There was no trouble in there. If you was in there, you was good. Like, there was even times where people like, you meet someone and they're like, yo, what you got on you? Oh yeah, like, give it a swap for a bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it was all like that. You get what I'm saying? So everyone was fam. Yeah. Because of the respect of the people who was behind it.
Yeah.
Like, it was some serious man. Yeah. So anyway, like I said, some pagans came down. It went west. Something went off. Use your imagination. It was locked down. It got locked down. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when it's got locked down now, all the crowd that are getting used to Bobby G's, they're now used to Sheffield to the point where they're going niche now.
Yeah.
But when they're going niche has turned into Bobby G, like, kind of like, you're looking down, you used to call it the jungle, like where the DJ box was, and that was just like Bobby G's, like Abrexes, big chains, shotgun skanks. Yeah, we call it the jungle, shotgun skanks, gold teeth, gold chains, fuck everything, yeah? But I'll tell you this is one thing that people don't really know about niche, yeah? Niche used to be pitch black. If I told you now that Sydney Street, niche, before it got shut down, the dance floor, the whole of the club was as bright as this. Could you imagine that?
No, I couldn't imagine it, because that's all I've heard is it's pitch black. You can't see nothing in there.
But listen to me, it was as light as this, and anyone can confirm me if I'm wrong. That's how pretty shit, like when people wearing shades, to make it dark for themselves. But the cameras had to be on point, because it was a dangerous kind of spot. You know what I'm saying? But and incidents happened, but nothing really that dramatic, because the bouncers there was on job. Yeah. And Steve, he had nothing but respect from everybody. You go up there, you shake hands with Steve, sorted. You get what I'm saying? And my elders, they had their VIP passes and all that. And in the end, the OG I'm talking about, who had Bobby G's, he sorted out with Steve, and everything was nice. So we kind of transferred that to there. Yeah. But then the sound was kind of changing. Sean Banger Scott, he was the man. That's why he was called Banger. Yeah. He made the beats. Kind of like, I'm not going to sing the song, but we was waiting for him. But then obviously, there was a young buck who was like similar to my age who came through, but he recognised that this crowd, this new crowd to niche, was more into the heavy stuff. So he would find some heavy stuff. You get what I'm saying? Like, it was still speed garage, but it was a bit more wump. Yeah. And like, this guy's from Barnsley. You get what I'm saying? So like, his crowd, like, it became like, all right, Duggan became that guy. And then there was one tune, and I call it the original wobbler. And when he played that, like, that's made this person the guy. Yeah. He used to come on at 4 a.m. Remember, niche was from like 12 till 12 at first, but later on it was 12 till 10. Yeah. You couldn't even buy alcohol after 2. But that's before the 24 hour license. Straight waters. Yeah. But this time now you go to an R&B club and get pops, but because we was younger and that, like, we just like, yo, there was gal in there from everywhere. You get what I'm saying? It was fun. It was fun. I'm not even going to talk about the other side of things, but there was a lot of adventure in there. You get what I'm saying? There was a lot of adventure there. Can imagine. But yeah, there was no really like direct incidents to where in niche, to be honest. Outside, you had a couple of altercations, but in the end, with niche, to round that off, unfortunately, the police had its eye on the venue and didn't like the attraction it was getting from all the bad people from around the UK. Yeah. They just seen it as a hub for negativity for Sheffield, because Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all right, cool. But then you've got these guys meeting girls, little ratties, and then settling down. But then
they're migrating.
They're migrating into the city, and then they're having trouble with this, and then they're keeping up fuckery, like they're looking for the people in the ends to deal with. So it got a bit negative. So the police flew down on it. They did some big stupid.
Not thought about it long term. They thought about it long term. 1 minute they come in for the weekend, next thing you know they're staying.
Yo, they're
for
staying,
life.
and not only they're staying with their brook pocket, yeah, and they need peas, and they're looking at the Sheffields like, yo, and like obviously because around man, like a couple of idiot man them that naive, looking up to him, talking like they're from Brum and that, innit?
Fuck
you get
off,
what I'm saying?
imagine
Really,
that.
in it. So my mum's life. They was talking like that, yeah. Obviously, big up all them Brummy man there. They know who I am. I know they're, yeah, it's all love. But there was a couple of idiots that was lining people up from Chef.
Yeah.
And that just causing negativity in the thing. You get what I'm saying? So, obviously, that wasn't the reason, but it was very concerning for the South Yorkshire police that there was all these now new threats. And, like, it started becoming an attraction for, like, in their eyes, guns and gangs. So they did a crack house order where they put a drug order on it. They raided it. One of the biggest raids there was.
I remember seeing it in Star.
Yeah, they found nothing. That was in November 2005. They found nothing whatsoever. Absolutely. What was it? 14 pills. If I'm probably, no disrespect if it was less, but there was no more than 14 pills. And that club was rammed. I was in there that day. And the others all queued up. They had the decathlon. Like, they thought they were going to find everything in there, bro. They didn't find nothing, but they still shut it down. Yeah?
Dread.
So from when it's shutting down, that's when Bassline kind of was born.
Yeah, let's talk about that CD though, because I'm sure that one of them tunes on that CD, well, a couple of them is what you vocals and...
Going back to T2 now.
Yeah, going back to T2.
So Nisha closed down, right? And it was just parties. Obviously, Limit opened for a while. This is while Steve was getting his strategy together to open Vibe. But during that time, it left a lot of open space because these ravers was now like cult following ravers. Like, they want to rave, whether you're from Leicester, whether you're from anywhere. Even people from London was up there, Bristol, Newport, everywhere. Listen, everyone came because it was religious. Sheffield, legendary. You get what I'm saying? That's why anytime you hear about Nisha, say, yo, legendary nightclub in Sheff. That's the reason why, because everyone came. Yeah? So anyway, so these after parties going on, and these girls, going back to what I was saying before, they had this CD, and it sounded like nothing that you've ever heard before, bro. Like, it was mad, yeah? So I've managed to, get this CD, give it a quick burn.
Not a quick burn.
Burn the CD, give it back, and then, Browning's like that, boom, 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 boom. So now, if people don't understand what I mean, like, the style changed from, like, before that it was do 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 boom 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 do 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 boom boom. So it's more dancey speed garage style. But then you've got the boom 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom.
Mad.
And I'm sorry, but that's some scoop. You know what I mean? That was a bit it just sounded like that was the essence of what Bobby G's had put together in one. Yeah? And on this CD, it was like 7 to 10 to 11 tracks, yeah? So I got hold of this CD and I recorded Brownings on this CD, right? And there was a lot more tracks like that. Dun, 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 and what's it going to be? There's a lot of tracks on there, yeah? So anyway, the Brownings track... During this time of it being closed down and it didn't have a home, a place called Sheridan's opened in Dewsbury. So, like, obviously you had DJ Q. And you got to remember, Niche was very, like, if you're not playing at Niche, you're not playing at Niche.
Yeah, yeah.
So then you had a lot of people from different areas now taking advantage of the fact that Niche is everywhere because there's not no home. So loads of DJs came out of nowhere.
Yeah, yeah.
And DJ Q was always doing his thing because he was on One Extra. And I do recall probably one or two of his tracks being played in Niche.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, I think Nasty Boy had a tune that was played in Niche. Platinum had with Platinum, yeah. Delinquent, Dexplicit, and he was from London with their boom. But Bullet was played in Niche. Yeah. So there was already a vibe of it there. But when we've heard the T2 stuff, when I've heard it, it was a completely different sound.
Yeah.
So when I've made the Brownings track, Sheridan's was the spot to go, but Sheridan's was like the second Bobby G's. It was the darkest, there was no lights, and it was like G'd up, like, you know what I'm saying? There was dogs on the door, like, it was gangster, like, it was grim. You know what I'm saying? And when I say grim, I say it with all respect, I loved it. You know what I'm saying? It's because there was a lot of remixes on R&B in speed garage / early days bassline, if that's what you call it. And even T2 sampled a lot of vocals. But I was the first person to put bars onto a track.
Yeah.
Like make an actual track out of this music, yeah?
Yeah.
So it was like a head blower. It's like, yeah, Robert G's crew, Chef City, yeah, big up HUD, big up the minus. It's like, it was like, blah. Fam, it went off. Out of nowhere, obviously, BODR. My second track was Spray, with it.
Yeah.
Get All Celebrities in Place. And that was like 2 weeks after I released the
So how did BODR come together?
And right, that's a good question because that's what I was going to get into. The second track that I did was, I had my boys Z-Tech on there, Asher was on there, but we was already guys from the roads anyway. But it was like, instead of me just taking all the credit, it's like, come on lads, let's make a follow-up to this tune.
Yeah.
And that blew up, you get what I'm saying? Like, there was, like I said, there was Pepper Slaughter, Z-Tech, myself, Asher, and that shut down the place. The video footage of it, like, it was just mental. But from that, I remember Bones and Q at Sheridan's. No disrespect to them, I love them. Big up Lenky, Country Boys, big up all them guys. So anything I'm saying, it's not derogatory. But they even turned around to me and they said, yo, bro, do you know what? You know when you drop that tune there? You know what I said? This is Bones. Like, big up Bones, free Bones all day long. My man said, I turned to man and says, DJ Q, what we gonna do? Yeah? And guess what?
We gonna do,
a week
man?
later, from the HUD, my name from the HUD, from the HUD. And guess what? You had the whole club, HUD, and it popped. I'm not gonna lie, big tune. So then it became a thing where it's like, I'm releasing tracks, he's releasing tracks, and then afterwards you'd hear somebody else is releasing a track. Like I think Screaming was one of the first best things since Slice Hardo Bread.
Yeah.
He came through, and then like after a while, it's just like then like BODR formed because of the man that was coming. You had people from Wales, Birmingham, Manchester, Nottingham. It was a big link up, but we was already people that was going to these events together. But it was more like, yo, this is popping now. So whether you got bars or not, let's just get in the studio and make another tune for next week, and let's see the reaction it gets.
Yeah.
So it was more of a natural formation of BODR. Yeah. Big on the roads, that's what it was called. So that's how that started. But that was a whole different level.
Where did you first meet Asher?
I first met Asher when he came to, because obviously one of my OGs had business in Newport, yeah?
Yeah.
And he was having, Sick Made Man was his guy.
Yeah.
And Asher was Sick Made's guy, but he was like the musician, where Sick Made Man was more the businessman.
Yeah.
So they came up to Sheridan's. So we met through that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we naturally, it was a natural connection through business outside of music.
Yeah.
But that's where we came together, and it's like, yeah, that's where that started.
Yeah, it was a legendary time, BODR, man. Fuck me. Every mix CD you listen to had a new tune on it.
Yeah, like...
I must have been doing about 10 tunes a month.
All Duggan CDs from 2007 were started with one of my songs, had about 3 BODR songs on it, and like for the whole year, that's what it was. It was like a build-up of that. And from after 2007, like, or during the middle of it, like... he was the number one guy for the bass line. You know what I'm saying? Because of that genre, all that kind of stuff, yeah. You got your TRCs, you got all the job lot, anyone you want to name, yeah. But then people start getting onto it. So then like Setman, like, I don't know, just randomly throwing out a name out there, like you get an Apostle.
Yeah.
Who's seen what's going on and he knows it's lucrative and it was worth getting involved in. So he's came with his stuff, and then there's obviously a grime MC called Triller who's doing grime with Messy Crew, and then he's took one of his hits that he had before bassline, G Star.
Yeah.
I think he did a dub plate that was cut with all the top bassline tracks, and when he dropped it, and As It Is TV Rave, which was a big promotions company at the time that got involved.
Yeah, I remember As It Is TV, Dumpy, and them.
Big up Buzz Promotions, big up Dumpy, As It Is, because I'm Player Promotions during Sheridan's era. Obviously, I ain't got time to break it all down, but there was a lot of collaborative promoters that made stuff happen, and it was all a big movement. You get what I'm saying?
Of course.
But so Apostle came out with this thing, Triller, boom, he dropped, popped, yeah. And after that, it was like, if you was a grime MC and you was from outside of London, you was doing bassline. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously, to go back to T2, he was living in London at the time. He wasn't even aware that I'd got hold of this mixtape, but I'd met him at Sheridan's. And he even came up to me and said, boy, do you know what, bro? If you didn't, I forgot about that CD. If you hadn't, because he made all sorts of music. He said, if you hadn't have spat on that, I wouldn't be up here now. So, like, me and him came tight after that. Like, he gave me my dues, you get what I'm saying? Like,
of course.
Respect for that. Like, obviously, without permission, I used it, but it was beneficial to his career because after that, he came out with songs like Heartbroken that went to number 2.
Well, we'll see what happened with that.
And
Legendary stuff.
With that. That's what I'm saying. Legends, you get what I'm saying? So, that was that there. But, yeah, that was BODR. And BODR, just last thing I'm going to say on BODR, we had Flirty D from London. We had man from Newport in Wales. We had Bristol, big up Spiny. We had Leicester man. We had Nottingham man. We had Manchester man. Liverpool, yeah lad, you don't want to beef lad. Paddy, that was. I'm in the middle of doing something in a minute. I'm only quoting these little things, yeah, just like Wolverhampton. Like, it was a big, massive connect. And this is even before BB and stuff like that. It was just, you know where to come to. We all know where to go to. And it was like, big up DJ Total.
Yeah, big up Total. He was one of my favourite bassline DJs.
Big up, like, I don't want to miss anybody out, but like, it was official.
We've got plenty of episodes anyway. We're going to go into more detail on everybody.
I don't want to feel like, if like, nobody don't feel missed out, yeah, because what's to be spoken is to be said. It's just that I don't want to long it out.
Yeah, of course.
I just want to keep it concise. So, yeah.
Yeah, let's fast forward to the second Scum Fam. Like, when Scum Fam come back up, reformed.
Yeah, so
new members.
Okay, so I can go on to that with this, yeah, like, Niche got closed down because of the wrong crowd, right? So it opened up again after the Sheridan's era and after everyone having a good kick. I was getting booked for 2-3 nights on a Friday, 2 nights on a Saturday. Like, we were smashing, absolutely kicking back for Carrie. I'm not gonna lie. I
remember them time there.
Yeah, but then a home came again, and that was Vibe. So Steve was the Godfather. He put it back into place, but it was no hard stuff. Yeah, but then slowly it started bringing. Obviously, that was just for licensing reasons. But then that became another hub of where everything was. So then that took away from Sheridan's, and then it was back in Sheffield again.
Yeah,
and then he changed it back to Niche. But then that got closed down, so I'm gonna keep it. I'm jumping, but things went on with there because I know that's where you got introduced.
Of course, we'll speak about that later.
But yeah, we'll speak that on your thing, yeah. So it's not like I'm not disregarding that, but yeah. So they closed it down. The baseline thing kind of died down, and like I got an opportunity to go on Lord of the Mics because of my stature in the UK scene and the way it was on Twitter.
Yeah,
I was a prominent artist where it's like I was involved. I made myself involved. I got involved with the grind thing. I ended up on Lord of the Mics. When I ended up on Lord of the Mics, I didn't want it to, as a Sheffield representative I've always been, I didn't want it to be all about me. I turned around and says, yo, I want everyone from Chef, every one of you, like down to the All Out crews or to anyone, let's all just have a meeting. Let's all be one collective and let's do a big storm. And all the best of us, just show London what we've got, because that's always been my thing. Like I said, I was always obsessed with the UK scene. Like I want the recognition and respect because I've always respected the artists from a long time. I've always tried to put everyone, like, bring everybody through. That's always just been me, and that idea came to fruition. But in the end, the most logical name for it to be was Sheffield City Underground Movement.
Yeah,
you get what I mean. So that's how the Scum Fam came about again, which involved you. And the lads. You get what
I remember when the name was up for, when like there was talkings about what the name should be. I didn't really care, me. I just felt like if set people were down, I ran it a good idea. It made sense at the time.
Yeah, like I would say, yeah, because there was friction in the past, like
with the name.
Lead members of crews that they couldn't let go of their ego from the past because there were battles and stuff. I was like, listen, I'm stood up here with a whiteboard talking about our master plan and our grand strategy for Sheffield to get in off the back of what I brought a limelight to Sheffield, and I want everyone to understand that this is not about me. And that's one thing I did say. I don't want to be the boss. I want everyone to feel like they're equal in this thing because I want everyone to be passionate as the way I am. But it came to a point where, like, week after week after week after week, I'm talking to business. All I'm seeing is nodding heads. And then the guys that were supposed to be the guys, like, that are supposed to be on my level, I'm saying to them, yo, I'm like, come with a name, innit? Like, next week, like, because in a couple of weeks, we've got to go down to Mix and Blend or the launch party.
Yeah,
and I want to go down there with something sorted. You get what I'm saying? So least you can do is because of lack of input in everything I've been saying. Like, you know what I mean? I know I'm a leader by nature anyway, but it's like I like to give everybody opportunity to put their input in. So I said, you know what? So you don't feel like you're representing something other than what you feel comfortable in. Just come with a name, innit? Next time we link up, next lads, meeting adjourned till a week Sunday. Everyone gets up. So I've said to the man, I said, just think of a name, innit? Just come with a name. I don't care if you call it dog shit. I don't care. I need to move forward because this plan is going ahead either way. And then the man's come back the week after or whatever week it was. I said, so, you got a name? He said, bro, you're the best at thinking of names, man. And I'm like, come on, man. Like, the whole conversation I've been talking about is like, put ego aside. Anything in the past in Sheffield scene, it means nothing because now we've actually got a chance to move forward. Let's forget all the isms and schisms and clashes and the stuff in the past and let's move forward. So the person was like, yeah, you're the best at thinking names. So it's like, okay, you're leaving everything to me. So I did a test. I said, okay, well, I'll call it Scumfam then. And obviously previously it was called Scumfam and we had a bit of like back and forth. So it was more of a test to see if he had got what I was saying. Forget the ego. And if anybody had got that, they'd understand that it doesn't matter what it's called because the ego's put aside and we're on a bigger mission. They couldn't accept that, so that eliminated, 3/4 of the people that was come. I don't know, like half.
Yeah.
Get what I'm saying? And like, so, and I was like, cool. I know he's going, nah, anything but that. Anything but that. I said, what do you mean anything but that? I said, well, do you know what? That's what it's going to be called. Because if you're not going to be, because he's like, of my experience, I'm like, if you can't look past all of that stuff, how are we going to work together and progress? You get what I'm saying? So he didn't allow that. So I just said, you know what? It's called that like at Olympic. You get what I'm saying? And then it was called that and it is what it is. He even said, that's the best name it could possibly be called.
Yeah, with it, Sheffield City Underground movement, it makes sense.
And that's where that started. And from there, the ones that was there and the ones that are there, we move forward. And to this day, it ends up like it's been progression all the way.
Still rolling. Trust me. We're gonna talk about Lord at Mics.
Yeah, so I was on Lord of the Mics, and then my thing was bringing the Sheffield people down. And then after I've done Lord of the Mics, I was obsessed with, because I've always said like, I don't want to digress, but like when you was all young and I was young, Brandons came out. I did the studio session, 7 hours or something, and I just put the word around the street. Anyone who's good at spitting, come to the studio on this day. I don't care who you are. If you're good, come down. We made like 3 tracks of hip hop, a bass line, a grind. To not get us celebrity, no beneficial to myself. I just wanted the Sheffield. I've always been that guy, like, come on down, let's do this together, unity, all that bollocks, yeah. So that's when I met you. Yeah. And my guy, you know what I'm saying? Like there was a lot of MCs that are still MCs to this day that came that day, and I like kind of put in a kind of a position when I said, like non-biased because I didn't even know you did that.
No.
I said, you know what? See the next guy. Kdot. And a lot of like there was a couple
of man
people,
didn't like that.
A couple of people there were shocked that I said that because they thought just because
ruffled a few feathers, I'll tell you.
Like people that was close to me, like used to rap like me and want to be like me, kind of thing. Like obviously I had my fam there that thought that I'd be biased, but I'm just an honest person. Like your delivery, your flow, and the way you packaged it up, like it was, I could see something in you. Yeah. But then obviously people that wanted to be like me and stuff like that, they got their little hearts broken or whatever. And but I just said it. I didn't mean to hurt nobody, but I just pointed across the room. I remember pointing across, using in the back. I said, "You see who the next guy is?"
I remember
him. Yeah, and boom. Fast forward, Kdot's that guy, and I always knew he was gonna be that guy. Yeah, because I know my stuff. So that's why I was so adamant on getting Kdot on Lord of the Mics 4. Yeah, and then Lord of the Mics 4 came across. I've like we've thought you're more a guy like if you're on it, you're on it. You're not that arse. Yeah. I'm more of a guy that's like, no, you need to be on it. So I'm on Twitter giving it the good go. And obviously because they've heard you and it's undeniable, you've ended up in one of the biggest clashes in Lord of Mike's history, bar, Devilman and Skepta and Kano and Wiley.
Yeah, probably it's in top 3.
And there you go. I bar them two, that is the one.
Like, top 3. Your clash were legendary though, I'll tell you straight.
Yeah, my clash was the team because it was first. I like it, but I'm just saying like up there, like it's not the big three. Yours is one of the big three. Obviously, R.I.P. Depths every time, nothing but love for Depths.
Definitely.
Invasion Alert. We used to call it Scumvasion. We had a lot of One Extra sets together. We was a tight unit. We used to go brum check them. Like we had a good friendship. We had a good bond, and then that clash happened. So people may think that we was against each other, but we was actually good friends. So it was unfortunate you had to clash. It's only because he was the only one brave enough to clash you, and you was the only one brave enough to clash him.
100%.
So that's what made it so magical. And you had 4 days to write.
I know, 4 days, you know.
4 days to write. So when you watch that clash back, I'm sorry, I'm like, I know it's supposed to be like, when it's your time, but I need to say this. When you watch back Kdot and Depths, they had 4 days to write for each other. And the way they delivered it and the way they came across, fam, the way they executed it, obviously I was there and I even said at the time, so I'm not just saying this now, I put my hands in it afterwards, Kdot the champ. In my view, Kdot, like, he had more personal, he went in, he had more dirt on, like, if you want to call it dirt, or he had just more information on the person as opposed to just jokes.
Yeah.
And that, to me, that's a lot of, like, in 4 days, like, for you, like, the delivering, they both got immaculate flows.
Yeah, of course.
There's no doubt Depths to be a superstar.
Just like you're right now.
Just like you're a superstar, but obviously, maybe because we're from Sheffield, you're not as celebrated as you should be. But in your own right, you've gone number 1 in the iTunes charts with your grime.
Various times.
With your grime EP, you went number 1. You've just come off a top 10. What is it? Number 6.
Number 6, yeah.
We've talked to Manice. Everything you do lands. Yeah, you get bookings, like different things going on. You've never stopped.
Yeah.
And you kept baseline going strong. You get what I'm saying? Like, as well as doing your grime thing, like, when people see me, they go, and it's Tez Kidd. You get what I'm saying? Because obviously your intros, and it's Kdot. So like, you get what I'm saying? But it's all love, because guess what? You've absolutely smashed it, and I'm proud of you. And it's held the baseline scene together, and that's where, so that's where Scumfam went. AK went on there against Villain. Proud of that. AK's done a lot of big things. All of Scumfam have done a lot of big things, and eventually we'll get them on the podcast.
100%.
Things.
So let's talk about present day. What's going on? Like,
I knew I had to take a good time out to focus on something other than my passion, to build my life up.
Yeah, of course.
So for me, it's like, if I've been away from people and people haven't really heard music, because everywhere I go, to be honest with you, I know, you man have seen, like, I wouldn't say it for no reason, everywhere I go Nando's and the fucking way, it's like, yo, Tez Kidd. Like, my son's seen it, like, it's like, they recognise me, and it gives me motivation, because I think to myself, how are Gen Zs knowing Tez Kidd? Like, I haven't even released a video for years.
True.
But the fact that they're here and know my face, it gives me that inspiration. It's like, I'm a big man. And at this point, my family's good, life's good, everything's set in order. So before that, I couldn't really concentrate on music. So now I'm back in a place where I'm inspired by the fact that I'm inspired by the fact that I've got a legacy more than trying to make a name.
yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
makes a lot of sense.
So I'm involved in the events thing, and because of the
I wanted to speak about, that's what I was talking about, like present day, like what's the hustle right now is the events thing.
So yeah, actual events going on with things. We've had sold out shows.
Yeah, everyone's been sold out.
Everyone's been sold out. We have multi-genre events. We have actual nights of actual bass. I've done one in Leeds. Got one in Barnsley coming up. Sheffield
in the summer. So if you're about, make sure you come down to one.
We did the Mobile Awards after party. Just it's just good vibes. We've never, like, touch wood, we've never had any trouble at our events, because through experience we just know how to do things properly and provide the needs. Big up Rawns, one of the big rising stars of bassline, one of the best bassline DJs there is. Big up Palisade, big up DJ Emo, big up Pilkey, and off the top of my head, I'm not even gonna.
Yeah.
I'm saying, anybody you want to big up?
Big up everybody, innit? Big up everybody, you know who you are.
Yeah, so on a music level, big up everybody that's doing their thing and striving for the scene to move forward and be as strong as it was, because it never went nowhere. So let's just concentrate on the fact that we can actually capitalise off the fact that something that we was in love with, without looking at it in a monetary view, is now something that we can work towards and turn into a proper business.
100%.
Without gatekeepers, and for the love and the UK.
100.
Yeah? So that's your time, and that was about me. That was
I'm
hosted
your
by
host,
Kdot.
Kdot.
Next time around, I'll be interviewing, but look out for more shows regarding different guests. And if you've got any recommendations, anyone you would say on here, say it in the comments. Anything we spoke about of relevance, we're going to put in the description. Make sure you check out Kill 'em Cook. We got STEM Studios. We got Scum Fam. Look out for Scum Fam's latest tune, Energizer with Milks, Temps, aka Palizé. Constant music being released. So at Scum Fam on Instagram, at
K.Scumfam on all the socials.
at King Tez Kidd. And yeah, this is one of many, so look out for the rest. Big up everybody tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe. This is a new channel. Post as much as you can, because this is just the start. Get up. Get on.
Sheffield City crew, money from Knox, Leicester, all ends. We got Scum Famo, Big Fred, Twist, Big Terms, T.I., Bull, Zeeks, Rap, Deuce, all the Wigan INC, Rough Jigger, Entourage. You're just watching, wobbling to the back, got a bottle in my glass, more marbles, I've forgotten. Tonight I'm getting mad, not